It's another uncensored look at the world around you from sisters who will say just about anything to anyone at any time. It's the Uggs. Jamie?
Oh my God, there's dog shit everywhere! Get up!
Paula?
That's my idea of a good time.
Uncensored as always, it's time for the Ugly Truth.
Welcome to the Ugly Truth. It is episode 288. 88 is great. That was our high school. That was our high school thing when we were seniors. 88 is great. That's what we came up with. I don't know. It was all right, I guess.
Yeah,
what was yours? What year did you? What was your?
97.
97 isn't heaven, right?
No, it was just 97. 97.
Oh, they didn't even want to come up with anything?
No.
That's hilarious. I forgot to tell you. You know, my high school reunion is coming up next month.
Oh, which one is it?
It's a high one. Not 40 or 50, but it's up in the double digits.
Oh, I know which one it is.
And
well, I mean, any fool could figure that out right now. We just went on about 88. So.
Yeah, it's 30. Yeah, it's 30 years. 30th. So the girls that are putting it together, or the women, the ladies, whatever, that I obviously went to high school with, it's funny how it's really diminishing. Like, she posted some photos of the 10-year. I did not go to the 20 or the 25, and I'm still on the fence on the 30. Mostly because the people that I keep in touch with, I already keep in touch with. I don't need to go to a place and rehash what all the things I already know. And the people that I know are potentially going, I would rather eat glass than see those people, you know? And it's nothing personal. It's just that we would never be friends in real life. And, you know, we just move on with our lives and it's fine. We have this one time span in common. And you know what I hate about it is when I think about high school and the reunion and stuff, I think about all the negative shit. I don't think about anything positive. I am not one of those people who looks back fondly on high school. And, you know, what's funny is the people I'm friends with now, I didn't even know them in high school. I look at it and go, God, why weren't we friends in high school? You know, it's so frustrating. But, you know, when you are divvied up into little groups in high school, you don't really get that privilege to get to know others that are not part of your group or whatever. And I never felt like I fit in because I was supposed to go to a neighboring high school, but our parents got a weird hair up their ass and decided that I needed to go to this one instead because they had a better academic program, which is bizarre considering
they were a fundamental high school.
Yes, which is bizarre considering that they had no value in education whatsoever when we were kids, you know? So it was so frustrating to me that all of my friends, who I am now friends with again, went to this other school. And I made like 3 friends at the school I actually ended up going with. So anyway, I wish that it was more of an exciting thing for me, but it's like a feeling of dread. It's so crazy. Like you went to yours last year, right?
Yeah, and actually it turned out where all the people that you would think would be there weren't there.
Isn't that funny?
And so Victor and I just kind of walked around by ourselves and talked to like maybe 1 or 2 people, and afterwards, and I had stressed about that reunion for so long. After we were done, we're like, let's get out of here and go gamble. This is lame. So, because it was at a casino.
I know that I probably sound like a bitter asshole, but that's not really it. It's just I'm struggling with the value of doing it, you know, and I'm getting a lot of pressure, like, you better be there, and it's like I just don't know if I can bring myself to do it. And there's a lot of people that I know that aren't going for one reason or another because it's in a really, you know, high season time. A lot of people are moving or traveling. It's August. And so I'm looking at the photos of all the previous reunions where they take a crowd photo from like the ceiling or whatever. Our 10-year was huge.
So was ours.
Everybody came because everybody's like they had their first baby, they're married, or they've got the high level job or whatever. So everybody wants to go and brag and catch up. The 20, I was actually pregnant, so I did not go to that one.
Oh.
That was, I believe. No, I wasn't. I just didn't want to go. I'm pretty sure. I thought I was, but I wasn't. I just didn't want to do it. And then there was like a 25 and now this 30. It's weird. It's like our high school reunions kind of going the way of the dodo, like because of social media. You know, we all kind of know each other's lives. And if we reach out, we know them already. you know?
Yeah.
Oh, and one of the girls that I unfriended for her political views is going to be there. That almost makes me want to go.
Yeah, maybe. I don't really know. I mean, like I said, because of the ones that I've been to, I went to the 10, I went to the 20, but beyond that, I just don't see the benefit anymore. I mean, there really is no ROI, and I
feel bad because the intention is good. Like the women that are putting this together are a wonderful people. They're great people, and I sound like the president. They're wonderful people. They're great people. They're good people. Right. And their intentions are pure. You know, they want to see everybody. You know, it's better than not seeing everybody and just, you know, clicking like on all of our Facebook stuff. So in that aspect, I get it. And this year it's at a club downtown, so it wouldn't be the worst. So I put it tentative that if I got a wild hair, the other thing is it's on our anniversary weekend. Oh. So it genuinely is not. I'm genuinely probably not available, but if I am, I'm like, I might dip in. I don't know. You know, it's not one of those things where I feel like I have to starve myself and you know, wear my finest clothes. But I don't know. We'll see. See, now I'm already backtracking because I'm not sure. First, I'm like, no, absolutely not. Now I'm like, well, I might.
Well, and it does help that whoever's planning it, like their enthusiasm, that does make a difference. Like with ours, it was just like, we have to put something together.
This is required.
It's our 20-year.
It's tradition.
You know, unfortunately, the guy that used to be vice president in president of our student body is forever tasked with, you know, doing reunions. And when I got there, he looked tired.
He's like, this is bullshit.
He's just like, if I had known fucking I would have never run for student government. But at the time when I was 17, it seemed important, you know?
So it's like, who knew that 25 years later, I'd still be doing this?
Right.
Still organizing this class.
You know, of a bunch of wastoid drunks and, you know, God knows whatever else. And well, I think you should consider it only because
considering it.
Maybe there's another wave that comes through, because I think by the 20-year reunion, people are, you know, like divorced, losing their houses, and
they're on their second marriage
or heading that way, and, you know, a bunch of single moms, and you know, it's just. It's not.
A lot of Pinot Grigio is being consumed.
A lot of not the place you want to be. But maybe the 30-year is like a better spot.
A friend of mine, she even told me, she goes, when I went to that last reunion, she goes, Jamie, I was in the throes of a divorce. My husband just told me he wanted to split. I had just had babies. It was a nightmare. But I went, and I'm like, I hear you. Okay. What are you trying to tell me? That I have no business not going?
Who wants to hear that story, though? My God.
I mean, her point is that I can make it, you can make it. So I'm like, all right, I will consider it. I don't hate anyone. It's not that. It feels, you know what though? I walk a different path than many people. I do not have the same wavelength that others do. And my experience wasn't as positive. People go, how can you say that? You were a cheerleader. I'm like, that means nothing. That means absolutely nothing. It means nothing at all. It just means people were mean to me, you know? Honestly. I don't know.
It was a different time for you. I mean, being a cheerleader than it is today.
Truth.
So.
Totally true. Well, speaking of nothing, 4th of July happened.
Yes, it did.
How was your plans? Did you guys do anything fun?
Well, originally, God, we didn't have any plans. And so I was just like, you know, that's cool. I mean, I'm fine just staying home and, like, you know, going out in the front yard and seeing who's doing what on the street and, you know, just making dinner and all that kind of stuff. That's my idea of a good time.
I'm with you, girl.
Then Victor says, well, so they've had these family friends for like, I want to say like 30 years. And they're actually best friends with Victor's parents.
Okay.
And so every year they do this giant 4th of July party. It's literally all day long. Like they said, they're like, come over after noon and fireworks start at 9. And we have food going all day long. And so it's like a 9-hour party.
It's like a serious celebratory thing.
They shut down the street. They had like a blow up water balloon, like from a rental place. Those,
they go all out.
An inflated water balloon place. They had like a volleyball net. They had one of those little cornhole games that you play, which I cannot play because I kept throwing it in the yard instead of the little thing. You know, they were playing, they had like a DJ thingy playing music.
Wow, they just went
it's crazy. They have a pie eating contest, or not a pie eating contest, a pie tasting contest.
Interesting.
So I'm cool with going for a few hours, but I tell Victor, I'm like, if you think I'm staying until 9 o'clock to wait for these fireworks to go off, I'm like, you're crazy.
Yeah.
So,
I understand.
And then someone bought a bunch of shaving cream cans. So the kids were like, you know, little tampons running around the street because they had, you know, covered themselves in shaving cream. And then they kept running up and saying, you want a hug? You want a hug? And I'm like, no, I wouldn't want one anyway, but thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to, you know, blend in as much as I can. But the thing is it's all Christian Republican country. And so my best bet is to not talk to a soul.
And you know what's weird? Actually, what's funny is that there's more in common than they realize. It's just this one political thing. You know, it's like we're all big proponents of family units. We're all big proponents of raising our own children. We all believe that, you know, Christian values aren't a terrible, ugly thing.
Right,
you know,
right.
We were raised quite conservatively, actually. We just believe in, you know, not shunning others just because they're gay or trans or not white.
Right.
And that's the problem.
There's just a few, you know, other beliefs that we have that, you know.
Well, we include everyone.
That don't
just
click. You know. Right. And so.
Yeah. Which is too bad because it would be an interesting discussion if they didn't get immediately, you know, insulting.
But the last time they visited, it was literally in the election year. And that's when everything was just like, you know, so
really ugly,
heightened.
Anyway, so you're surrounded by a lot of those folks at 4th of July.
Yes. And
was there a call to stand for the national anthem or anything?
No, nothing like that. Flags were everywhere though. And so I just pretty much clung to Victor's side, and you know, he kind of looked at me like, why do you keep following me? And I'm like, because I don't know where to go.
And I don't know any of these
I'm not
people.
just going to sit down and, you know, next to someone and assume that they're okay, and then, you know, find myself having some. At one point someone broke out a Bible, and I'm just like,
what?
Shit. I'm telling you, it was major.
Seriously, the problem with us is that when we go to situations where we're the minority, we're literally the minority. And when they start talking about Mexicans and stuff, it's very difficult to keep your mouth closed.
So that's why I stay away from everyone.
Yes.
You know? I sat on a sidewalk for an hour, you know, watching people play volleyball, and I hate that game.
I got to tell you, Paula, I would have dipped long before. I've been like, you know what? I'm Ubering home. I'm out. I'll pay the $16. Literally, I would go. I'd be like, Olivia, let's hit the road.
So I think we were there for like 3 hours, and eventually we left. No, it wasn't so bad.
Felt like forever, though, I'm sure.
Yeah, and so finally we took off because I was tired, and I was just like, okay, let's give up this facade, or at least my facade. And
I'm done keeping my mouth closed.
Yeah, and I just, you know, I wanted to eat the barbecue and watch the kids play and have a good time and, you know, all that stuff. But after a while, I was just like, you know, I'm not going to sit here because Ryan's like, only 4 more hours till the fireworks. I'm like, only 4? And I'm like, trust me, son, we will not be here for those fireworks.
No, we will not be there for the Murica fireworks. Fuck. Did anybody pout? Did anyone pout about leaving?
I don't think so.
Good.
No, I think they had enough fun. We went home, and our neighbors were doing some fireworks, and they were not being very smart. I think they had been drinking, but...
Oh, did anybody blow their hand up?
I kind of had hoped it would have been, because it would have been funny, but, you know, they were like, you know, the big ones... They were like lighting them sideways and then putting them on the ground and then running.
Stupid.
So
I've been like, I cannot wait to see these burns.
Right. And then, of course, the cherry bombs galore. I don't know why.
How did they get M80s? Where they get them from, like
Nevada?
Nevada, yeah. Although, are they legal there? I don't even know.
I don't know what states these things are legal, but
God, so many states are zero fireworks now.
And I don't even understand the appeal because they don't do anything. They just explode.
Sounds like a shotgun going off.
It does. And so, everybody's animals and everyone with PTSD and
oh my God.
Or
no
children or little children for that matter, they all appreciate it. And this is the year. Okay, so this was funny. In all the years past that I've ever purchased, giant amounts of fireworks, my children have watched them from windows.
Yes.
And usually with their ears plugged.
They don't like it.
So we didn't buy any fireworks this year because we're just like, you know what?
What's the point?
We're gonna be out there lighting them from the street, and the kids
They'll
are going to be
staring out the door.
They'll be at the front door with headphones on, and I'm not going to deal with it.
Yeah.
So
it's not a requirement. If you feel like it's required, but it isn't required.
No, it's not. And so they were outside watching the neighbors' fireworks, ears completely open. And they're just like, oh, wow, that one looked really fun.
Awesome.
And I'm just like, you know what, you little assholes. Because I have been doing fireworks for you guys since you were babies. And
now suddenly the year we decide not to do it, you're like, I'm all in on this.
Like, I remember we had a good spread with lawn chairs and we had the bucket and, all this stuff. And I told the story last week how I ended up doing fireworks for the whole neighborhood.
They all sat around and watched you do them. They all sat in their
lawn chairs and watched me do them while the kids were inside looking out the window.
Yes.
So God. I felt guilty that we didn't have fireworks, but oh well.
I wouldn't feel guilty. I'm like, you guys don't get to change up the rule suddenly. Yeah. Like all of a sudden you've grown out of your fear of loud noises. The one year we decide, what a waste. We're not buying them. Oh, we love it. It's awesome.
Well, I did see Ryan secretly plugging his ears.
So he's not completely over it yet.
It reminded me of Tyler because Tyler didn't used to like loud noises.
Tyler's not a fan. He's never been a fan of loud noises. Loud noises! Yeah, not a fan. But he's been that way since he was a baby. He's just, I was trying to figure out why, because I did not do a lot of screaming when I was pregnant with him, or even when he was a baby. It was such a peaceful time in my life. I literally had, I was so young when I got pregnant with him. I moved home to our parents' house, and it was like super quiet there, and it was a very peaceful time. And when he came in, everything was great. Everybody loved on him like he was the crown prince of the world. And so I don't know where this maybe that's why. Maybe it was too quiet. So now loud noises are like, ah!
He was just kind of a little sensitive guy. And
he
didn't like the loud sounds.
Oh, God, I want him to be small again so bad.
I know.
We've talked about it, but it's like, I think back when he was just a beautiful, tiny little thing, little toddler, little boy, and I just want to like scoop him up and kiss on his face again. But I can't say I don't have any regrets because I did it. I always did that. He never got away without me giving him a hug or a smooch.
Yeah.
But I just want to do it again so bad.
There's always an abundance of baby commercials on like right now. I don't know if you see them all the time. I do.
I haven't, but I was going to tell you about my 4th of July.
Oh, yeah, tell me.
So Daryl had gone to Reno to do a late Father's Day celebration with his father, and his dad is quite the partier.
Yes.
He's lived like 8 lives. The man is, I think, immortal. Personally, I'm fairly certain the man is immortal. He's gone through two tours of Vietnam, and then in the Navy. He was a police officer in Richmond, California, which was the murder capital of the state for many years. Mm-hmm. He did a SWAT team, all of it. And he's still alive and active, and he parties really, really hard. Daryl cannot keep up with this man, my father-in-law.
I think he has an artificial liver.
I don't know what it is, but I just hope that I get a little bit of that when I'm his age. That's all I know. I want to slide into home like he's going to. It's amazing to watch. Seriously. So Daryl went up there. They did the Father's Day thing, and everything was fine. Sunday he comes home, and then Sunday afternoon we had to work the fireworks booth for the cheerleading squad, which I told you about last week.
Right.
Well, it was 104 that day.
God.
And it was the hottest day of the week. And we were there at 6 o'clock. So it was 104 exactly when we got there.
Right.
And those fireworks booths are made out of wood. And then you have the mesh screen in front so that people can't rob you. And it's a hot box, essentially. So
Yeah,
you're
because it's just
sweating.
like basically plastic behind you and on the sides.
And you're surrounded by flammable material, so you can't have anything in there. And so we brought lawn chairs and we were just sitting there. And it's like, you're not even sweating anymore. You literally have like a layer of moisture on your body because your body's trying to save yourself from dying. Right. It's like so hot. So finally, there was 2 other people there, and the girl that was there, she's actually in charge of the whole fireworks thing. And she said, you know what, because no one is dumb enough to go out at 6 o'clock in the afternoon to get fireworks when it's 104. And so she's like, you know what, we're closing. And so at 8 o'clock, she's like, we're supposed to be open until 9. I'm not doing it. So we start packing up. Okay, when you are working really hard and it's hot, I thought I was going to die.
Oh my God.
I'm not built for this. I'm not built for hard labor in high heat. I'm just not. I am never going to be a ditch digger. I'm never going to work outside doing anything heavy lifting when it's this hot out. Never going to happen. And there was some humidity to it as well. It wasn't just hot. It was humid too. So we got that done. And I felt like a wrung out towel. And I said, we have to go somewhere where it's dark, where we can get beverages and just sit and cool off. So we went to this sushi joint and had some beer and had some sushi, and we felt a little bit better. And then it got immediately cool, like 20 degrees cooler for the rest of the week. So Tuesday, I go to bed. Daryl and I go to bed kind of late, and I said, hey, can you get my gray blanket? I'm kind of cold. He's like, really? I woke up in the middle of the night with a fever.
Oh my God.
I was like, I was doing the chills and I was pissed because I'm like, how? I never get sick. Never. And I'm like, it was that fucking fireworks booth.
It probably was.
I knew it. It wasn't the people there. There's just germs, and it was it was like a fucking petri dish of germs. And I was so mad because I'm like, God, I am pristine with just complete. I'm so clean.
Right.
So I woke up Wednesday and I felt like crap. And I'm like, do I have a fever? And he goes, no, you're fine, Daryl. And so later, like a half hour later, he brings me coffee in the morning. And he goes, you know what? You do have a fever. I'm like, oh, God, you are the worst caretaker ever. I know I have a fever. I feel like shit.
Don't you guys have a thermometer?
No. I mean, we might. I don't know. But I know when I have a fever. And my biggest worry, whenever I get dehydrated, I get a UTI. Every single time. And I thought, God, do I have like a UTI or something? I'm like, I don't know. But every muscle in my skin hurt and my muscles are killing me. I'm like, I don't think this is a UTI. I think I'm sick. And so that 4th of July shows up. And I mean, I slept all day. I felt horrible. No medicine was making me feel better. And I was a nightmare. So at some point in the afternoon, I got up and went downstairs, and Daryl goes, look, I know it's a lot to ask, but do you think you can make that macaroni salad that I really like?
What?
I'm like, yeah, I could probably do that. And so we went to the store and bought all the stuff. And so I made it. And it was funny. I'm sitting there going, you know, if the roles were reversed, this would not be happening.
Oh God, you wouldn't even be able to speak to him because he'd be like, my ears hurt. I can't hear you.
Yeah. I don't think this is right. I think something's wrong with me. My muscles are really hurting right now. I'm not sure. Maybe I have appendicitis. I don't know. And I'll be like, you're fine. You're sick.
The back of my neck hurts. What's the signs of meningitis?
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm like, yeah, I can probably do that. So if I sleep a lot, then I feel pretty good for like an hour or so. And then I just like completely lose energy. So I made the macaroni salad. I have not been eating. I feel awful. You know, my stomach feels like there's air bubbles in it. I just think I have a virus. And today is the first day that I actually feel better. I still don't feel good.
Yeah.
But I feel better. So the 4th of July, he and our daughter went to the fireworks station and bought all the stuff. He did not go overboard like we normally do because both of our kids decided not to come over.
Oh, okay.
So we had a super mellow 4th of July. Malia invited 2 of her friends over because their families were celebrating 4th of July the weekend before, because having a big thing on Wednesday is kind of a pain in the butt because everybody has to work on Thursday. So they had already had their celebration. So they're like, yeah, we'll come over. So they played sparklers, and we did one big grand finale. And of course, Daryl was in heaven. He loved it. And I'm just sitting and I'm like, all right, great. Good show, guys. And I went upstairs. I'm like, I have to shower. I feel like I was just sweated through everything. So yeah, that was our 4th of July.
Wow, that sounds lousy.
It was lousy in some ways, but that's when the whole thing of how come we don't have any friends? And I said, we don't have any friends because when the recession hit, they all broke up. They lost their houses and they all moved away. It's not us. We're great people. It's just that it's just not in the cards for us right now. We'll get some more. We'll get more.
No, see, my preference is just to do things with my family. Like, I don't desire to be with friends,
I'm with you. Well, I know what it is. We had epic neighborhood 4th of July parties.
Yeah.
For many years. And at our old house, all the neighbors would come out. Everybody bought like $100 worth of stuff. We set up a huge thing in the middle of the street. We would close the street off. We'd go into each other's houses to eat the different foods that we had all made. There were a gaggle of kids. I mean, it was really super fun. And so when that goes away, it sucks. It really sucks.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Nobody lives like that anymore. And you just either go and endure the crowds at the big, 4th of July events, or you do what you did, which honestly, if it hadn't been for someone whipping out the Bible, it probably would have been a good time for the most part.
Yeah. I mean, I was far away from it. So I just happened to see it and I'm just like, oh, here we go. So
Budweiser has kicked in and there's been much tea drank. And now we are. Yeah.
So it was, and the funny part is it didn't even surprise me. I was just like, well, what can I say?
Nothing.
I'm not shocked.
No, it's just their time. And, you're literally the minority there. So what are you going to do?
I am literally in both ways.
Literally. If they knew you were Mexican, they'd be like, what?
God, I know. Thank God.
Anyway, well, yeah, so yours sounds much better than mine, personally. I just wasn't well, and I'm still not well, but I'm better today. Today was the first day where I actually feel almost normal.
Yeah, some years you have better years
yes, for sure,
than others.
For sure. Speaking of better years, so when this post, it will have already come and gone, but there's a big UFC fight on Saturday night. And Daryl was actually saying, hey, do you want to get it? And whenever he asks, that means he wants to get it.
How can you not want to get this fight?
I didn't know. I didn't realize it was on Saturday. I had forgotten. And so he, because I've been kind of sick. So he said, yeah, do you want to get the fight? And I go, who is it again? He goes, it's Miocic and Cormier. I'm like, oh, yeah, we should definitely think about getting that. Because I said, but let's wait. Because I'm not paying $65 to have Cormier drop out because he broke his leg on the stage, which happened.
Did he really break his leg?
No.
Oh.
But did you see the video?
I did, and I swear to God, it looked like the stage came apart and he fell through it or something.
What happened, according to him on his Instagram, was he was walking away and he tripped over a speaker. A small speaker was there. He tripped over it. And he turned around angrily and looked at it, which we all do when we're clumsy. I don't know about you, but when I trip over a crack in the street, I turn around.
They want to know what was the culprit.
You're like, what the hell? I'm not that clumsy, but even though I am.
Right.
And he turned around, he looked at it, and then he hobbled off quickly. And I was like, oh, great. Wonderful. Just what we need. One of the biggest fights of the year is going to be called off because, Cormier hurt himself. So he said, I'm fine. The fight's still on. My left leg is swollen, but I don't think it's going to affect my performance.
Well, he's not a kicker. So.
In the octagon. No, but I mean, he's an old man for this sport. Any injury can impede his ability to perform at the top level, right?
Yeah, I know. At optimum speed.
Yes.
So here's the deal about this fight is Stipe has the heavyweight belt.
Yes.
And the next weight class down is Cormier's belt. So Cormier is going up in weight class. And
yes.
And so he is fighting for Stipe's belt. And if he wins, then he is, gets the belt for that class.
And he'll have 2, right?
Yes. Okay. And then unless he relinquishes one of his belts.
Which he will.
So at this point, Cormier really has nothing to lose because he's going to keep his light heavyweight belt championship anyways.
Yeah.
Stipe is the only one that really has something to lose. But I mean, in my personal opinion, and I'm a diehard Cormier fan. I have been fan for years.
Yes.
But in my opinion, is I think Stipe will probably win.
Maybe. Well, he's tough. They're both scary. I wouldn't want to mess with either of those people.
Well, and he's used to fighting heavyweights.
Cormier, though, the thing with him is that I've seen this before where they say he's like that uncle that you have at a family reunion. He's barrel chested and he looks like you could take him because you're spry and young and strong. And then he takes off his button up and he's just got his t-shirt on. And he kicks your ass.
Yeah.
Because he's so strong. He's like a bull. He's so strong. And he always says the same thing. He goes, they always think they can wrestle me. It's so funny. And they can't.
No, it's true. It's true. They always lose the same way too.
They do. So the only thing is, we are waiting till the last second to buy it.
Yeah.
Because if Cormier drops out or something, then we're not gonna get it. There's already been a couple of changes. Nothing that I care about really. And then the only other thing I was going to tell you is, Donald Cerrone had a baby.
I knew that. So did Nate Diaz.
Nate Diaz had a baby too?
Yes, he did.
I did not know the Nate Diaz one.
They both had baby girls.
It's funny. I was listening to Joe Rogan and he always said, isn't it weird that all these big, huge, strong, scary men have girls?
I know.
They don't have boys. They just don't.
I wonder if they just don't have the testosterone to have them.
Weidman has 4 girls.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And of course, Cerrone had a boy, which is not at all shocking.
Yeah, that's true. He is all man.
He is all man. And his wife, or I don't think they're married actually, but
girlfriend.
It looked tough. He took a picture of Mama holding that baby.
Yeah.
She had oxygen on. She had all the stuff on, like, they had to monitor her. Mm-hmm. And she looked pale. And I'm like, that looked like a rough birth. That's all I'm saying.
Seriously. But, well, I mean, and she can go through a lot because, I mean, like 6 weeks before that, there was a picture of him and her water skiing with her giant belly sticking out there.
Jesus.
I'm just like, I don't think that's recommended.
It is not.
By a
It is
doctor.
not recommended.
If I was her doctor, I'd have to follow their Instagram so their next appointment be like, well...
Listen, I don't know how to put this to you, but you are actually in a vulnerable state right now.
In the 3rd trimester, we don't recommend water skiing.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons why, but so we know you're really good and athletic, but...
We created some pamphlets for you.
Just for you. Misha Tate had her baby. She had her baby like a month ago, I think.
Yeah. Did you see? She looks great. She looks
hate her.
I know. It's like a week after she had the baby, she lifted up her shirt and she had like a 6-pack. And I'm like, where'd you put it?
Are you serious? I did not look like that. I look like a stretched out sock for 2 years. It's crazy. But you know what? They're top level athletes. Their bodies are ridiculous.
You know what I am? I'm a corn dog.
You're a corn dog.
The steak was the baby. All came out and I'm just still hollowed out.
You still look like the corn dog crust.
Yeah, basically.
Oh God, that's so funny. Okay, well, let's do our ugly and awkward moments of the week. As
I mentioned, we went to, this epic 4th of July party.
Yes.
What probably would have been smart of us is to bring some chairs to sit in because, it's one of those situations where it's just like, you bring is like your stuff. So it's like beach towels or chairs or something to sit on. And so
right.
We got our food and they have their front yard, which is all grass. And so I'm like, well, there's a little area over there. I'm like, why don't we just go sit down over there and we'll just eat our lunch? And So the four of us go sit down and we're just chit-chatting, and we're like inundated with flies. And I'm just like, what the heck is going on? And something smelled bad. So I'm just like, I don't get what's going on. And so I look down and I look around us, and there is just dog shit everywhere.
Oh my God. Is that where they were dumping all the dog poo?
No, I think the dogs, because she breeds dogs.
Okay.
And so I think when she brings the dogs outside, because they have a picket fence, so it's all fenced in. So I think when the dogs come outside, there's just an area that they all go and crap in.
Oh
so
my God.
I think the area I picked was the area that they designate to poop. And so
and you picked it.
But don't you think if you were going to have a party, you would
clean
pick
it
up the dog poop?
Oh my God, Paula. Did you get any on your shoes or
I didn't get
anything?
any. Victor had some on his boot, and
no.
there was a big turd right in front of me and Ryan, so I just covered it with a leaf, and I'm like, all right, let's go.
I was going to say, you didn't stay, did you?
No, we got up and moved somewhere else, but I was so embarrassed because I'm just like, what are the odds? What are the odds? It's
Depending on who you are.
An ugly moment that,
Beyond.
I would pick the area where all the dog shit is.
Oh, God. That's gross.
It was gross, and then it was funny.
That's true. Oh, God. Okay, so mine is very typical awkward moment. Everyone does it. I don't even remember where I was, but we were walking, Malia and I were walking out somewhere, and a girl held the door open because she was walking in when we were walking out. No. I was holding the door. Sorry. I was holding the door, and she's like, thank you. I go, well, thank you. and she looked at me and then looked down and kept walking. And I'm like, what am I doing?
What is that?
Why would I say thank you? Thank you. Thank you for the privilege. Thank you for the privilege to open this door for you, stranger. Kind stranger.
She probably thought, was she being sarcastic?
Or was she picking up on me?
Was she making a funny? I don't know.
Oh, God. I just always hate when I do that. And then, of course, Malia's there. And Malia acts, she's so cold. She doesn't even...
She's like, Mom, really? What are you doing?
Nothing registers. And so she's just like... I said, thank you, Malia, thank you. And she's like, mother, And then we just keep walking.
Starts texting.
Immediately Snapchatting. Although I did find out that because I say a lot of witty things and pithy things that she thinks are hilarious. So she has a running note on her phone of all the things I've said.
How funny.
And she shares them with her friends. Which makes me laugh. I'm like, well, like what? And so I can't think of any right now, but she goes, remember that time? And da-da-da. And she'll pull out her phone and read it. And I'm like, I said that? She goes, yes. And I said, I don't remember saying that at all. I say a lot of things, apparently, that I do not remember saying.
I know.
But she finds them hilarious.
Funny. That is funny.
I know.
I don't even know what I say.
I say all kinds of things all the time. Like, I was talking to Mackenzie about friends, because Dara was like, how come we have no friends? I'm like, we have friends, they're just not together anymore, it's just different. And I said, and I don't want you to label me for being friendless, because you're questioning, like, what did we do wrong? I go, we did nothing wrong. I go, plus I have siblings, they are my best friends, literally. I don't feel like I don't have friends. I see my siblings as my best friends. They're my soulmates. So, and it was like that when we were kids. We never felt compelled to play with the neighborhood kids. Never.
Not really.
We were all on our own. The four of us were on our own. We all had our little niche of where we were in the group, and that's how it worked. And so now it's like, I guess, I see women who have these big clutches of friends where they all go and do stuff, and you're like, oh, girls' night, and there's like 4 or 5 of them. I'm like, well, that's really awesome. I don't need to do that, because when we do it, first of all, they are ridiculously epic, and they never just go quietly. We can never just go to dinner.
We can do one of those like every few years.
We literally have to recover for years when the 4 of us go out, because something always happens. It never just goes smoothly. Like, let's go have dinner and cocktails and call it a night. Oh no, it never ends that way. So I don't really understand that need for a pack because I have my pack. So I was telling Kenzie about it, and I said, it's just when I'm done with someone, I'm done. And they are always shocked. They're always so surprised. Like, how dare you be done? And I'm like, you've known this about me for years. You're suddenly shocked that I can walk away and never turn back. I don't get it. And so she's like, you know what? I should start doing that. I'm like, well, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but I'm broken. So don't rely on me.
It's a hard trait to have.
Yeah, well, it prevents a lot of heartache is the way I look at it.
True.
But anyway, I think you win.
Oh, thanks.
Your dog shit lawn choice.
That's good because the family thought mine was weak sauce this week.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah, they're just like, what? That's it? And Ryan's like, hold on, let me think. Last week, did you do anything? And I was just like, I don't know.
No.
Did I?
That was a pretty good one because it's just like a movie. You sit down and you're like, oh, this is a really great spot. I wonder why no one's taken it yet. What's that smell?
Why are there so many freaking flies?
Oh my God, there's dog shit everywhere. Get up.
Well, and who would have thought that there would be something like that?
Like there's a poo pile for the 4th of July festivities. Who knew?
Gosh, it's just like,
God.
I didn't
Could
even
they put up a sign? Let your dogs defecate here, please. And they don't believe in cleaning it up?
I don't really know what they were thinking. Maybe they just assumed people would be sitting in chairs. I don't know.
Yeah, well, you're like me, though. I show up to events and I just assume they'll have everything I need. I'd be like, oh, was I supposed to bring my own utensils too? Or what? Like, should I have brought my own glass?
Well,
I didn't realize.
Verified what we were supposed to bring.
But they don't tell you, like, bring your chairs, bring a blanket,
Yeah.
But I don't know where that comes from other than it's like, well, you mean you're not providing me with a seating or what? I don't understand. Like,
I think it's because when we've thrown parties in the past, like we make sure everybody has everything. They don't need to bring extra chairs or whatever.
Nope.
I remember sending Victor to Rite Aid at the last minute, go get those lunch or go get those plastic chairs that they have for $4.99 or get 8 of them.
Well, we're gracious hosts. We always think of everything, so.
Try to be.
Yeah.
Anyways, well, I think that's a wrap for this Sunday. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Hope you had a wonderful 4th of July. Hopefully, I was right on my my UFC prediction. But if I wasn't, then I'll actually be happy. Yay! So.
Yeah, we got DC wins with his puffy leg.
His barrel chest.
Yes.
Please continue to shop Amazon using our Amazon button. And also, please continue to shop our Avon link using lipandclip.com. We like what we're seeing, so we'd like to keep it up.
Yeah.
If you have any ugly and awkward moments, please be sure to email us on our Facebook page. Jamie will go ahead and look at those, and we will read them as we get them on our Wednesday show.
Yes.
So other than that, have a fabulous week. Shut up. And
sorry.
We'll see you on Wednesday. Bye. Bye.
Thanks for listening and sharing the show. See you next time on The Uglee Truth.